There we go. Ah! Welcome to Q&A. It is time for me to A your Q's. That sounds really uncomfortable. I don't like that. Welcome to Q&A. It is time for me to answer your questions. Lord have mercy. My first question is coming from Chelsea B. Chelsea wants to know, where are you from? I was born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Then, after a series of moves, I landed in Huntsville, Alabama when I was about 9 years old. So I like to say that Huntsville is where I'm from. That's where I did the majority of my growth as a person. I'm so weird. Ooh, Chelsea also wants to know, who are your idols in the music industry? Oh, first of all, this doesn't answer the question, but I'm super snotty right now. Do y'all hear that? Oh, I was really sick last week and I'm still getting over it, so forgive all of this hot mess going on right now. Some of my idols in the music industry would have to be some of the legends, especially the 80s rock legends. I am obsessed with Steve Perry, John Bon Jovi, Arielle. I would also have to say Steven Tyler, he's amazing. I also really love my dear friend Julia Ross. She writes the most incredible songs, and if you haven't heard any of her music, go check it out. The link is right down there. You will not be sorry. Another one of my favorite artists right now is Garrett Borns, or he goes by Borns if you're gonna search him on Spotify. His musicality is amazing. His voice is versatile. So I really love Borns too, yeah. So those are just a few of the people that I would majorly fangirl over if I met them in person. So I guess that means they're my idols. Even though I get to see Julia all the time, she's like my best friend, but I do fangirl every time I see her. Reagan Elizabeth wants to know, have you ever had any voice lessons or are you self-taught? I only had official lessons for about 3 months, I want to say, in the span of my whole life. But I did have an amazing vocal mentor who I had the opportunity to work with for years and years and years singing at church. And she's this incredible gospel singer named Sonia Merritt, and she's really the one who taught me everything that I know. At what age did you start singing? I guess technically I started singing when I was 2 or so, and I loved to sing the part of The Little Mermaid. I have this very vivid memory of standing in front of my cousins and just singing that as a 2-year-old, and they would all be like, yay, she could sing on pitch. And one more question from Reagan. She says, would you ever consider coming out with an album? Absolutely yes. I have a lot of original music written and some demoed out and recorded, but just not ready to be released yet. I do have an original song on Spotify. It's called Monster-in-Law, and the link is right down there. So go and click that link if you want to hear my song, Monster-in-Law. Make sure you continue to stick around for original music, which is coming in the very near future. All right, now Lil Rose wants to know, why did you dye your hair? Well, Lil Rose, I dyed my hair literally because it's fun. I think that colored hair is self-expression. I love to reinvent myself. It's just hair at the end of the day, so if anything went wrong, you can always just dye it a darker color, or you can cut it off and it'll grow back. She also wants to know, do you have a boyfriend? And Lil Rose, the answer to that is, yes, I do. I have an amazing boyfriend. His name is Seth. He is just my favorite person in the whole wide world. Yeah, he's just such an amazing person. He challenges me to be better, and it's one of those things where I just feel like we are the perfect team. It's so amazing and refreshing to feel like I finally found someone who is just my dream come true and then some. And so that's where I'm at. And I feel very lucky to have him. Emilio wants to know, do you do YouTube full time? The answer is yes, I do. I am fortunate enough to be able to have made this my living. YouTube and live streaming are my sources of income. This is what I do. The way that I'm able to do this is through a crowdfunding platform called Patreon. And basically Patreon is super cool. You could pledge $1 a month and you get to see all my YouTube videos before anybody else does. You also get to hear my original songs before anybody else does. And if you want to get involved, the link is right down there in the description box. It would mean the world to me if you did. So that's that. Emilio also wants to know, have there been moments you just wanted to quit and run away from YouTube? Emilio, if I'm being honest, yeah, not just YouTube, but social media in general, the internet in general. There have been so many times where I've just wanted to delete all of my social media and move to a random island and disconnect forever and just bartend in a little shack on the beach for the rest of my life, because social media can be so overwhelming. And there have been times when I have found myself entrapped in a web of comparison, of thinking, well, I don't have as many followers as so-and-so, or I'm not as pretty as so-and-so. But then I have to stop and I have to go, no, this is who I am. This is what I love to do. And the internet is kind of a necessary bittersweetness that we all get to enjoy, and we also all have to be burdened by. So while I've had those moments where I just wanted to quit everything and give up, I've also realized that that's not the answer, that all I can do is my best in the moment with what I have. And so that's what I do here on this channel. I hope you guys enjoy it. Fallout K wants to know, have you or will you ever audition for anything big? I am actually a contestant on this year's season 1 of American Idol on ABC. So American Idol ended on Fox a couple of years ago, but this year they decided to bring it back on a new network, and it's just gonna be a whole new show. And that's all I can say. So make sure you tune in if you want to follow my journey. CBSC Reactions wants to know, what mic do you use? I use a Neumann TLM 103 microphone, and it has been awesome for me. I absolutely love it. Gabby Does Things wants to know, do you think you would ever make merch or open a P.O. box? I currently do have merch. The link is right down there in the description box. As far as a P.O. box goes, yes, absolutely. It is in my heart to get a P.O. box very, very soon. Mac Franey wants to know, who inspired you to start singing? My dad would have to be a major influence in my life. I just remember being a little kid and hearing him sing in the car and thinking it was the most amazing thing. His voice is one of my favorite sounds that have ever existed. So he's a big reason that I do what I do today. Ooh, Lethal Injection asks me, do you / would you have any tattoos or piercings? So as far as piercings go, I'm really basic. Right now I have these cute lightning bolt, like Harry Potter earrings that my brother Johnny got for me for Christmas. And I only have one tattoo, which is, it's right here on my wrist, and it says Beloved. This tattoo initially was a couple's tattoo, and when our relationship ended, I remember just feeling so mad that I ever got this tattoo. But after my father passed away this past November, I was thinking about him and thinking about his name, and his name is David. And it occurred to me that the name David means beloved. This tattoo now means something so much deeper to me. So when I look at it, it doesn't remind me of pain anymore, it just reminds me of my dad, my beloved father. I definitely have plans to get more tattoos in the future, but don't tell my grandma that. Oh la la la, te amo. After Death, ooh, wants to know, what do you expect from your partner? I think it has less to do with what I expect and more to do with what I hope for. I hope for vulnerability, someone who made me laugh, patience, a safe place. That's what I hoped for, and that's what I found, is someone who makes me feel home. I realized what was important too is not only what I'm looking for from the other person, but what am I bringing to the table? I'm not perfect by any means. Please do not get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but I had to come to the point where I realized that if I don't bring my full, authentic, vulnerable, honest, raw self to the table, then the other person can't bring theirs. That was a long-winded way to answer that question, but I hope that made sense. Steven Lopez wants to know, what's your favorite musical? My favorite musical of all time is The Phantom of the Opera. Elias Torkelson wants to know, do you have any advice from your personal experience on growing a YouTube channel and making videos? YouTube is a place for us to post content that makes us feel fulfilled as creators. Create what makes you feel the most you. What makes you feel the most alive. Don't just cover a song because it's current and it's the popular song. Don't just do a makeup look because that's the makeup look at the moment everyone's doing. I know that might go against what a lot of people would say, but my thing is, when you play that game in order to just grow, it takes all the fulfillment out of what you're doing. It becomes a chore, it becomes a job. The biggest piece of advice I could give you about growing your YouTube channel is don't even think about growing it. Just think about creating the content that makes you feel the most fulfilled. Zasky Poo wants to know, what would you say to inspire young, talented people to follow their dreams? My advice would be, let yourself dream. Don't be too scared just because you think you might not ever get there. Because as we allow ourselves to dream, that's how we allow ourselves to evolve and grow into the people that we're supposed to be. I would tell you, take a leap of faith, because at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather say, at least I tried? If you step out in your dreams, the worst that can happen is that at the end of the day you can say, I went for it. Maybe I didn't land where I thought I would, but look at all these ways that I've grown. And so that's what I would say to any of you is, if you have a safe choice versus a stepping out on a ledge chasing your dream choice, go with the latter. Chasing your dreams is hard. As much as you put in, that's what you're gonna get out of your dreams. So put in your all and see what happens. If I didn't get to your question tonight, please forgive me. I will be doing another Q&A very, very soon. So be thinking about some questions that were different from the ones in this video for me to answer next time. Make sure you check out the links down here in this description box. And until we meet again, go out there and be nice and be a light. I'll see you next time. Bye.